Alright, my friend. Hello, JD. And we're gonna go ahead and review your game. Around 1075 ELO, so around 1100. And you said don't be afraid of harsh criticism. So we're gonna do exactly that. I'm gonna hop right in and I'm gonna dissect your gameplay and try to give you the best feedback I possibly can without worrying about being overly harsh, which is good. That makes it easier for me. I also believe harsh criticism is the best and easiest way to learn. So let's go ahead and hop right in. First thing I'll look for is the Dark Age. So you had a little bit of like back and forth the scout. On Dark Age, very simple. Your scout is always on the black stuff as much as possible. Very simple. So even here, like this is a small thing, but even here, if you pass by here, there's a lot of areas here that's not black. So yeah, you going around is actually correct. There you go. And go back around. And yeah, golden. Good. You don't want to pass through here, for example, or spend too much time in the area you already scouted. So good. Looking good so far. Good woodline choice as well. So far, I'm loving this. Let's see here. Yeah, your scouting is good. So yeah, you understand that concept quite well. Okay, I like that. I like that. Very nice. All right. Go ahead and get that boar. Playing as the Mongols, which is solid. And I assume you're going to be doing my build letters. Sick. Yeah, that's why I like reviewing my Patreon Recs. The guys that are in my Patreon, because you guys already know like the build letters. So it saves me a lot of time as a coach or as a rec reviewer. Don't have to waste time talking about things that are already out there. You know, all the information is there, and you guys are making use of it already. Nice house near the berries, the wall. This is great. I'm really surprised you're 1100 so far. This Dark Age so far has been similar to like a 1500 easily. Like not even a stretch to say that. So I'm actually very pleased so far. Usually what that means is the rest of your game is garbage. but let's see. That's the thing about a good Dark Age, right? Is that like if your Dark Age is too good, then you're 1100. Either you're like improving fast and you should be like passing this elo quickly, or you got some big problems elsewhere. Let's see which one it is. I'm hoping it's the former. Okay, loom 19 pop, good. If you want, you could skip loom if you're doing Mongols, because you're usually up faster than your opponents. You can like cheese a little advantage like that. And I see you're struggling a bit with the dealer when everything else is getting a little too hectic, which is completely normal. So my recommendation is if it's hectic, do exactly what you did, which is ignore it and go scout, which is fine. 8 on wood, small thing. I would do 4 on each side, and then it's perfect. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you fixed it. Or did it fix by themselves? But this is way, way nicer. And now the next step is just barracks and probably stable on the front. So you don't know where your opponent is. You're going to go scout for him. Yeah, he could be here. You got a little unlucky. Scouted the wrong side, but that's fine. Barracks probably stable in front. Protect that gold. Our map is quite good, so at this elo, I wouldn't think of the matchup too much. I just think of what we want to do. So we want to open scouts because we're Mongols. Let's try to do that. And then I'd already start imagining how we wall the map. Again, I'm really impressed so far. Like, I honestly don't know what's going wrong, but this has been legitimately perfect, which I never say, by the way. Like, this is like a 9 out of 10 Dark Age, even for my standards. Like, small thing. Like, the only thing missing is like little small things. Like, your villas are not like perfectly positioned on the resources, but the efficiency's been good. Rest collected is good. Everything's been solid, man, so far. I gotta put pressure on your opponent now. Alright, walling up with 2 villas exactly how I taught you. Okay, this is where I see a lot of mistakes happen. So, like, now you're gonna AFK with the scouts. And this is, like, so... Okay, hold on. This is so anti-Mongol, right? Like, this is not at all what we want to be doing as Mongols. Look at this. To the moment the first scout comes in, alright? 10-20. Now, that scout should be going straight forward right away. And it takes about maybe 30 seconds to get to the other side, but usually like 20 seconds, okay? So keep that in mind. 10-20, first scout comes out. Now I'm going to fast forward and see when you actually move out with your army. Alright, so you are walling, you're farming. As soon as you get the wood, you got horse collar, that's good. Now you're going to be moving out 11-10. Not bad. I'm going to be real, it's not bad. But when you're playing a civ like Mongols that is a very fast civ, I always recommend you send your first scout forward right away. Because it lets you put pressure on your opponent and set the tempo. So now you're moving at 11:40, but you could have moved at 10:20. Yeah, it would be with only 1 scout, obviously, but it still lets you get the tempo on your opponent. Like before, he didn't have a spear, right? So you would have been here around 10:50, like 30 seconds later with 2 scouts, you'd kill a vill, and it's already huge. And it's a mistake I see like happen very often. Normally, it's not a bad thing, but it's only a really bad thing with Mongols because it's a very fast civ. So like if you use a fast civ like Mongols and you don't take advantage of it, then you're not playing to its full potential. So here you got to farm a bit faster as well. But you're doing good so far, honestly. Like, so far, it's been pretty solid. Let's see how your scout micro is. Nice. You're farming before taking engagement. Now go for the engagement. Pretty good. So clean. I don't understand how you're 1100 yellow. That was perfect. Go around, because there's a spear. You can go around here and look for another play on the front, maybe. Also, walling up with 2 vills. Good. Actually walled up in a really good way, too. Why do we only have 3 scouts? Okay. That's fine. Actually, what you can do here... Okay, what you can do here is, as soon as you're fully walled, because your opponent already invested into a couple spears and he's also on scouts, and because your opponent is Turks, the more scouts he makes, the better he gets free light cap. What you can do is, as soon as you're fully walled, you can cut your scout production. So I would continue making it until you're fully walled, because then you never know if you need to fight and you're not fully walled. So you need to continue making scouting here. You need to continue making scouts, and as soon as you're fully walled, I would consider cutting production right away, because he already invested into a couple spears. He's already kind of protecting himself with some walls, and I feel like we won't be able to get too much more damage. So my recommendation is continue pressuring. That spear should be around here, and then stop making scouts as soon as you're fully walled. You might get a bit unfortunate here, a bit unlucky if he goes this way, but looks like he does go back in the end. Oh, yeah, this spear should be here. It should be like a... What the hell? You're micing the scouts as well? How are you 1100? What the hell are you doing wrong? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Goes to the spear. Backs up. That's fine. Goes back in. Micros the weak one behind. Kills it fast and runs away from the other one. Regroups the formation immediately in box formation. Goes for the Vil. Hits. Run. Yeah, it just runs too many Vils. Excellent. Excellent gameplay. Alright, now the scouts from Shaoli Baba here, from your opponent, doing work. They're gonna kill 1 Vil. This is unlucky. You had a spear here, but like obviously the reason why I'm not like too harsh about this one is that you know the spear has to be there. You just clearly forgot about it. Completely happens to me as well. I'm not gonna be too harsh about that. And you have your scouts on defense, which is actually amazing because that is a Patreon video right there. I love it. On Patreon is a video that shows that I show people how you can keep reinforcements in your stable instead of sending them forward all the time, so that if you need them on defense, you can bring them out. So now with 1 spear, 2 scouts, you can easily finish walling that out, and it's not a disaster at all. So really good play from you, actually. Good reaction. And you also did it in the perfect steps. So I'm super impressed so far. Out of those and the berries, the only thing that I don't like so far. And granted, I think your opponent's also playing a pretty good game, by the way. Like, this is like the best 1100 game I've seen in a long time. Good. A little overreacting, like over jumping with those vills. I wouldn't pull all your vills. I'd pull like 4 usually. Not all of them. And also, okay, that was your first major mistake. So like when you're walling up, I wouldn't go back with vills until that shit's fully walled. So like there you should have walled with the 4 vills that were pulled, the 7 vills that were pulled, wall it off completely, then go back. Don't go back before the threat is neutralized, all right? It's a very important concept. So here again, he's going to back up, chase him with the scouts out, wall, and then you can run away. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. You corrected it yourself. Cool. So we lost 2 vills because we made a mistake. But we also killed 2 vills later, so it's completely fine. Oh no, we didn't kill 2 vills. Sorry. Yeah, we lost 2 vills. We killed military units only, so we are down 2 vills now. So it's kind of bad, but it should still be fine. So now we're fully walled. We cut scout production. This is probably the best play. You could continue making scouts since he's open, but I think it's probably better to play towards something else, which you agree. So this is actually really good play from you. And one last tip I'll give you for the Feudal Age is that when you have army like this in your walls and you're fully walled, always take them out. Delete a palisade, send them out, remake it, or make a gate or something. Always get the army out. Yeah, there we go. No, get them out. No, don't put them in. Get everything out. Okay, I have to explain this because clearly you're not getting it, which is actually good that this happens so I can explain it. When you're fully walled, you're allowed to do something that's very annoying. You're allowed to attack with all your army and keep 0 at home. The reason why this is annoying is that your opponent now, he might try to attack you, right? He has half his army outside. At home, he has only a scout and a spear. If you attack him with all your army, like 1 spear, 6 scouts, spear trades against his spear, your scouts eat his scout, and then you're just killing his vills. And his army's out of position, and if he tries to counterattack you, you're fully walled, so you fear nothing, right? So every time you're fully walled, always attack with all your army. Unless it's a situation where they're all low HP and you're saving them, or it's a situation where you expect, like, you expect him to, like, pressure you with archers and to actually break your walls, and you want to keep them somehow. But even in those situations, I think attacking your opponent and buying yourself time is probably the best way to go. Because even if worst case scenario happens, you always have a tower, right? So even if you pressure and then he attacks you, like, heavily, you can just tower your gold and you'll be fine. What you don't want to do here is hang on defense, because it, A, wastes a lot of time, gives you 0 value, and B, you don't even want to fight his army, because that implies deleting a wall and going out of your base to fight him, which is horrible. So definitely should always counterattack with your army once you're fully walled. Alright, let's see how you do in Castle Age. So far, still very, very impressed. In this situation, yeah, again, you have your army there, so, like, you're fine. I would just re-wall. And again, I want to re-emphasize that army should be doing something else. Now I'm going to go CA. Okay. Good choice with the Mongols. Actually, ooh, I know where this game goes wrong, potentially. Turk, CA versus Turk is an exception. It's one of the civs that doesn't really work well. Because they get extra Pierce Armor on their Light Cav. And Light Cav in general is, like, usually you counter Light Cav with CA. But Turk is the one civ with the extra Pierce Armor that can really compete with their Light Cav. So I don't recommend CA versus Turks, even if you're Mongols. What I would recommend instead is something like Steppe Lancer Camel. Until you can save up till Mangadai, for example. Mangadai have a bit more damage than CA. Yeah, even here, by the way, I would always... You're trying to cheese him through the wall. I would always re-wall there with a couple of houses, just in case. Because you technically don't know that he's not on full Feudal Scouts. Because, like, this is what you see. You're, like, trying to fight him. But if he breaks the wall and then comes in, like, from out of vision another 10 scouts, you're dead. Your Vil won't get there in time, so... You're actually being pretty risky there, and I don't think you realize it. Alright, so Castle Age, we're gonna go CA. University fast, I don't mind that. Bowsaw. 10 on gold, which is really correct. PC. And now you're gonna move out with the CA. Perfect. Everything's perfect. I still don't understand how you're 1100, honestly. Alright. You're gonna move out. And your opponent's on scouts. He's gonna get Light Cav soon. So what you want to do when that happens is we're gonna have to play Camel. Because it's really hard to play with only CA versus the Light Cav. You're gonna see this yourself now. Yeah, good defense as well. Good micro with the CA, cutting him down. Very good. Ballistics is very helpful against Light Cav though. So I like that you're gonna go for that. Second DC was perfect timing. Okay, so one thing I want to note here. Normally when you get ballistics, you want to idle your ranges to get it and then maintain production again. So in an ideal world, you just have enough resources for ballistics as well. But I would get ballistics ASAP. And I would cut production for a bit to get it. Because the value you get from getting ballistics early is huge. What I don't want to see here is you add the 30C and you don't get ballistics. That would be horrible. So I would really get, like, rush to get ballistics. And if you don't want to get ballistics, that's fine, but don't make the university. Because basically what this did is that it delayed your 30C and it took 200 wood from your stockpile, right? So if you make the university and then you don't get ballistics, you're wasting 200 wood, you're delaying your TC. It's just horrible. All around. He's gonna loop around. He might get lucky and actually find you here. We'd have to defend with our CA. And again, I want to highlight that these scouts, they're doing nothing now, so that's why you should have done something with them earlier when you had the chance. Okay, now we gotta react to the CA. Okay, so this is definitely sloppier than your early game. So what I can see now, I was asking the question, I don't know how this guy's 1100, you know. I still think you're better than the average 1100, but this is clearly some weaknesses here. Some Castle Age weaknesses here. This is definitely the sloppiest it's been. So your army had to react right away on the inside and go clear this right away. And you, again, not getting ballistics is actually hurting you big time. Because now you really need ballistics. And you just don't have it. So that 30C, I don't think you realized, but that really hurt you there. Really hurt you. Also, man, I would recommend just making a gate in your base. Because you keep deleting walls, but that's letting your opponent escape. And gates got buffed now, so gates are good. So I would definitely go for a gate in your base. At least one. Yeah, and a lot of the reason why you can't get the initiative as well is because you didn't get ballistics. Because if you have ballistics, your TCs and a few CA at home can defend. But without ballistics, you can't really hit the Light Cav ever. So you're actually taking so much more damage because you're lacking the ballistics. Yeah, this game was like literally perfect. Like it was like a 9 out of 10 game. I shouldn't say literally perfect. It's not perfect, but it was like a 9 out of 10 game. It was going very well for you up until Castle Age. And then in Castle Age, it kind of started falling apart. So our job here is to reel it back in. And the way to do that is to get things back on track to what we want to do. So get all our builds working. Let's start pressuring our opponent with the CA and then massing at home the reinforcements so we're going to be safe. Opponent's starting to do weird things as well. He played well in Feudal Age, but now he's floating res. I don't know, maybe he's playing like a fast Impisar or something weird like that. Yeah, something you should consider as well is like you have 1,000 food and you could have easily went for some camels to support the CA. But now that I realize that, yeah, your Castle Age, honestly, your Castle Age completely falls apart. Like you're not macroing your economy at all. Okay. That's good. This is the best rec you could have sent me. So all of those bills idle for like 3 minutes is costing you so much rest per minute. You have no idea. And now going for a market to balance out your economy. Oh, this is horrible. Yeah, honestly, for as much praise as you got in the early, this deserves as much criticism here. But that's okay, because you're doing the steps that I recommend. You're starting with improving your Dark Age, Feudal Age, and now we'll work on Castles. So clearly Castles is where you need to work on, which is a good thing. It was a good thing. I'm happy you sent this rec in. So, fundamental rules of Castle Age. Number 1, you should get yourself a select all TCs hotkey. And you should be clicking that hotkey and making vills at all times, basically. Literally at all times. Make sure not to put like 10 vills in each queue, but 2 to 3 vills, up to like 5 vills in each queue at all times is like a good way to play Castle Age. And the second thing is you still want to do the things we talked about in Feudal. Like the reinforcements that come out have to be on defense as well, right? So what you did in Feudal Age, that was really nice. You're just not doing it in Castle Age. So make sure to keep the same concepts that I showed you in Feudal Age. Just keep applying them in Castle Age. Now, your opponent's going for forward castle potentially. We don't know this. But I do have a Patreon video on how you should play out the mid game. And it's usually about making enough armies so you can't get forward castled. Or going for a forward castle yourself by winning the map and then sending it, forward. So that's what your next goal should be. I think you picked up Thumb Ring. I'm not sure. No, I don't think so. You just fire faster because you're Mongols. But you have really good attack. Ballistics finally came in. And yeah, your opponent's on a lot of light cap. So, like, perfect way to respond to this is to add a second stable and go camels. That would be absolutely brilliant. And then you have CA camel, which Turk can't really stop very well. So I hope you go for that. If not, you're going to have a little bit of trouble. Not like Turks are unfightable with CA, but it's just a bit awkward because of that Pierce armor. You're going to feel it here. Nice. You are massing at home now, so you're doing things better, but your TCs are still idling for a little too long. Okay. Ooh, now going for more ranges. Interesting. It's not bad to do more ranges. I don't mind it, but I think stables would be better. Like Cav running in. You have to defend here. Yeah, brilliant. Now you have to defend up here. Good. Finally, you're moving with the army quickly. That's good. And you see how with ballistics you kill him every time he runs in. You're killing 1-2 units. That's very good. You needed that earlier. Still suffering from no gate though. Now you're gonna go Thumb Ring. Okay, very good. I will say you're still playing a better game than your opponent. Like, your opponent's 1 TC faster, something very weird. It only might work because you're not going camels, which is unfortunate. Now we're going to go up to Imperial Age ourselves. I don't know why we're not attacking here, by the way. There's actually no reason to not attack here. You have a big army with CA. You should always attack if he's not pressuring you in Castle Age. So definitely should have attacked there. The way to keep the momentum. Good. This is ballistics is helping so much. If you got ballistics right away, I think you would actually win this game convincingly. Now you still have a chance, but now that he's imp with Hussar, it can be tricky. You have to wait for your imp to really be able to fight those guys. Well, you can fight them now, but when they get the last armor, you can't. He's gonna go hand cannoneer. What? He's doing some weird stuff. I'm getting Hussar rated a little bit. Yeah, so if there's any time to not fight, it's now, by the way. And you still kind of win it. Wow. You're insane. If there's any time to not fight, it's now because you're going to get imp upgrades. So now what I would do is just camp at home and wait for imp upgrades to come in. Taking a bunch of damage. Now's the time we choose to fight. Oh, Capram. That's not it. No, no, no. What you do is you always upgrade your main unit first. Always. So always Bracer, Heavy CA, Chemistry. Forget about Capram. You don't ever go for a siege unit before your... Or not ever. It's not like a general rule, but usually you want to prioritize your main unit upgrades, especially when you have so many of them. Because now you're still missing Bracer, Chemistry, which are so important. But even as it stands, your CA are doing so well. Down to 33 bills? Cause yeah, you're idling way too much, by the way. Make sure to get them back to work. That's why you need to select all idle TC. Or sorry, select all TC button. So you can click it and then just get your bills back to work easily. What's happening here is that because you're microing, you're not looking at your economy ever. Have to get in the habit of doing both at once, like you were doing in Feudal Age. Good micro, though. If there's one thing you're doing really well this game, it's really good micro. It's coming at the cost of some of your macro, but... Oh well. Moving around with the CA. Crazy, you guys are both 73 pop, minute 44. Oh god, he's in our base again. Yeah, why are we not having CA at home to defend, you know? The same thing we're doing in Feudal Castle. Pikeman! Okay. Not a bad choice, actually, but... Usually Camel's better. It's double gold comp, but at least you'd have a stronger unit to deal with the Hussar. Pikemen aren't very good for Mongols. At this point, we can probably fast forward because we're getting to the point of Imperial Age in a very weird scenario. So at this point, it's really hard to coach because there's so many weird things happening. I'll just see how you finish the game here. I think I covered a lot and actually enough in the first bit. These games tend to drag on a lot. So now you're going to go Rams. Okay, so we should have to pick a combination now, our composition. So we have like, okay, gold unit is CA. It's obvious. We have to fully upgrade the gold unit. So we're missing Bracer still and missing Chemistry. Second step. Oh no, I think we have Chemistry. So we're just missing Bracer and some armor. Parts and tactics. Second step is we need to go ahead and get our secondary units, which in this case we tech pikemen. So okay, we'll go pikemen and we'll have to upgrade that. And third step is to get a siege unit like the ram. Once we get all of that set up, we have to shoot to 200 pop. That's the goal. So you never stop making vills till 200 pop. So I want to see you constantly making vills, which is good. You are doing that. And keep in mind, your opponent is actually not doing that as well as you. Look, a lot of ILTC, a lot of them. So that's why his vill count stays at 66. Yours shoots up to 95. Even though you had like 30 vills like 10 minutes ago. So now we have to just pick a composition, go to 200 pop, and then play it from there. Healing is good. Okay, now we chose Lycav, which is a better unit than Pikeman, by the way. So I commend you for that. So yeah, CA, Hussar, Ram, that's a good comp. Probably the best comp. I'm just fast forwarding because it's like, it's no competition. You got the 200 pop and you rolled your opponent, which is really good, actually. This is perfect because this showcase, your opponent didn't get the 200 pop, and you did, and you just roll your opponent. This is actually fantastic. So by just knowing what to do, you're able to just steamroll your opponent who doesn't know what to do. This is actually perfect. Honestly, this game was perfect for you to send in because I got to your strengths and weaknesses in all the cases. So I can tell you knew what to do in late game. You actually picked the right comp, and you're still like not getting all your techs, but you're working on them, so that's fine. You got the 200 pop and you continue making vills. So the next step is that you should expand a bit more in late game. So castle here, you know, maybe TC out here, and start expanding a bit more. Maybe outpost on the side. That's my advice in Imp. But otherwise, I think your biggest weakness by far is in castlage. Recommend the select all TC hotkey. I'll remind you about that. Please get one. Keep the vills production rolling, and in castlage, get a gate always. And in Castle Age, do the same principles like you had in Feudal Age. In Feudal Age, you're playing very well, and you slipped up a lot in the Castle Age. So that's kind of my read of the situation. I hope this rec review helps, my friend, and I wish you the best in your improvement. I think you're going to improve very rapidly, because where you fell apart is hard to improve, for sure. Like mid-Castle Age and Castle Age in general, probably the hardest portion of the game. But it's definitely the area where... you know, if you do improve, you're going to become a better player, you know, very fast. So I recommend to you to watch how I play the early Castle Age, watch how I'm like choosing the fights, and also make sure that if you do commit to ballistics of the university, get ballistics every time. Don't go for the 30C until you get ballistics. That's like the biggest thing you can take away. Because if you had done that, you wouldn't have been exposed out here without ballistics going for 30C. And if you just want to skip ballistics, your 30C would have been up earlier, so you would never get raided by the light cap. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you get better, and I wish you the best. And if this goes to YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Check me out on Patreon, Twitch for live streams and content. Links in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.